I'm having a day where technology is not my friend, so I decided I just need to come work out. So would you guys do a glute workout with me? And apparently Nala's gonna help us. By the way, I also recorded this one time and it didn't record, so let's see if we can pull this off. And we're gonna have help. All right, so we're gonna do some really good glute workout. We're gonna start off laying on our back. So we're gonna lay on the back here. And we're gonna reach your fingertips towards your heels and want your heels to be just barely touching your fingertips, or maybe even just slightly behind them. And we're gonna flip our palms over because this palm over position helps you get your shoulders down and relaxed. So one of our postural goals is to always have this openness rather than have the shoulders roll forward like that. Okay. All right, we're always going to talk those muscle recruitment patterns. So we're going to take that TA, deep abdominals, and we're going to pull that belly button to your backbone. And then also add that pelvic floor engagement. So you get that gentle pelvic floor lift. Okay, so let's just practice that a couple. Deep breaths, abs engage, close that rib cage, get your pelvic floor lift. Good. Okay, and then let's go into a few of the hip rolls because it's going to help us get those glutes fired up, but it's also going to help relax our back for a second. So I'm going to take that pelvis, scoop it into imprint. You see that? Scoop it into imprint. And then we're going to roll up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. And then we're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. What are you doing? Exhale, scoop up. Firing through those glutes. So when you get up here, what we'd like to see is a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Hopefully that's a straight diagonal. So a couple things that I see in class that aren't quite where we want them to be is the hips are down here. So I call this a break in the bridge. Okay? And then the other thing that I see is that sometimes we get those hips up by tossing the rib cage up. So can you see how there's a little bit of an arch in the rib cage and I'm not flat here? So knitting the ribs down like that is what we're after. Okay, hopefully you can see that. And we're gonna roll down through the vertebrae, keep going one vertebrae at a time, keep firing through those glutes and laying back down. And again, scoop, roll it up. And back down. Work on segmenting. So we want each little vertebrae to move independently of the other. About like a strand of pearls. Take another breath. Roll it back down. Can you feel those hips firing up a little bit? We'll go one more here. And back down. Da, 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 da. Yeah, you need my music, right? Okay, we're going to make this a very different exercise now. So instead of scooping that pelvis back into imprint, we're going to keep the pelvis and the whole spine one line. I'm going to move this arm out of the way just so you can see. So I'm coming up in a hip hinge here, and the crease is happening right here at my thighs. So I'm going down and up. And down. See how my back is like a board rather than scooping? And up. So the kicker here, and what I really want you to work on, is that you're going to try to keep those glutes on all the way down. So right about here, they're going to be like, boom, we're done. And I want you to see if you can squeeze them and stay on, all the way until that tailbone hits the mat, or sacral bone hits the mat. Okay? So it's exhale up. You can see my legs are shaking. Again, second time I've done this video. And lower it down, 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 but it's so worth it. Down, glutes are on, glutes are on, glutes are on. And again, exhale, fire up. So the hinge happens here, and we go down, down, down. Stay on, stay on. You can even poke back there and see if they're on. This is no joke, you guys. Turn it on, turn it on, turn it on. So good for the glute strengthening. Let's go 3. Lower, 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 lower. Keep it on, and up, down, keep them on, keep them on. Go as slow as you need to. Last one, up, and back down. Whoa. Yeah, if you see me shaking, you are right, I am shaking. Okay, take a couple seconds and rock it out, side to side. All right, we're gonna move over into a clamshell position now. So I'm laying on my side, taking my body against the outside edge of my mat. So that just is a nice little guideline to help you know if you're lined up. Sometimes we get a little out of proportion. Our proprioception or our awareness of where our body is in space isn't always spot on, me included. So I've got my back against the mat here. And then I'm going to make this mouse hole. So we always try to do this to maintain the alignment of the spine and also to keep your abdominals engaged a little bit more. Okay, and then my knees are up at a 90 position here. So I'm going to start off raising both my knee and ankle together and just kind of getting that glute engaged in the back, feeling this deep ab activation, and then lowering back down. So it's a lift up and a lower. Exhale up. Inhale, lower. Okay, now here's where it gets fun. I'm going to keep my heels together and bring that knee up. And so now I'm going to do an external rotation. And you guys know my definition of fun is different than the normal human being's definition of fun, right? So it's external rotation. I'm holding here and really trying to push this knee away, but without letting this hip roll back. So my hips are parallel, but my knee is going out, and boy, I'm getting a shake in that glute. Shh. These videos have been so good for me, so I want to thank you guys for inspiring and motivating me to do these exercise videos with and for you. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining me. Shh. Can we get about 4 more? 4. And 3, I really hope that's not in camera. And 2, shh. And last one, and we lower it back down. Oh goodness. All right, from here, we're gonna lift the ankles up and keep those knees down. And again, try not too much to dump into the left hip here. So we're gonna keep them, again, stacked up, ankles up, and then we're gonna lift up. Lower back down. Exhale up, core's engaged, have a little bit of a mouse hole here, gotta remind myself to keep that lifted. Oh yeah, we got 4. And 3. Last 2. Final one, hold it up here, we're gonna wag that knee out. 4, oh my, and 3. 2. And 1, and lower it back down. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to take it into internal rotation. So the knee slides forward and the heel goes up in the air. And I know this hip wants to really round forward, but you're going to pull it back. And then let's just pause here, take a second to see what we can do in this rotation. So I'm using my elbow to push my hip back, and I'm using my fingertips to pull my foot forward. So I'm going into this rotation. Can you feel that? Pause here for just a second and see how much rotation you can get. Now it might be all the way down here, and that's okay. Just kind of stretch it out a little bit and you might be able to gain a little bit more. Honestly, you guys, the first time I did this exercise, I was like, couldn't lift my leg at all. I was paralyzed. And I asked the instructor, I'm like, should I actually be able to do this? And since then, a couple people have asked me that, and I totally know how they feel. Okay, so we're gonna now lift this leg up, and I always imagine a bullseye here with my knee, so I wanna get as much of the surface of my knee there, and then a target on the ceiling for my heel. So I'm getting that rotation. Working those deep glute rotators and those inner thighs or adductors. Shh, that's it, we got 5. And 4, 3, and Last one, hold it here, little pulses. See if you can find that rib cage lift again. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh. And then in class, we like a little bit of percussion on that glute, kind of loosen it back up again. Just good. A little vibration is good for the fascia too. All right, so we flip. Let's go over the other side. Using the edge of your mat to help you line your body up. We tuck that rib cage up, little armpit, and bring those knees forward. Got my mouse hole. I'm going to start with the knee and ankle raising together just so I can feel that ab engagement. Get those elements together first. And then I bring my heels together and work on this external rotation. So hips are stacked. Man, I am shaky today. It might be just because I've done this a couple of times. You ever have one of those days where technology is not your friend at all? Oh well. Could be worse, right? There's more important things. That's where I was just like, I'm gonna work out with my peeps. We got 2. Last one. You guys know I don't ever count perfectly, right? Here comes trouble. Okay, knees go down, ankles go up, and we reach up. Shh. So Nala, if you haven't met her, this is Nala. She is a toy poodle, apricot, and she is not a puppy. She's 14 years old. So she's kind of an old lady. Can be a grumpy old lady at times, but she's also pretty spry. 3, look at her, she's just staring at you. And 2, and 1. Ugh. Bring it down, and we'll work into that rotation again. So slide that knee up, we grab that ankle, and just pull into that stretch. Whew. Alrighty, here we go. Up in that lift and back down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, bring it back down. It's almost like she knows she's on camera. She's just sitting there looking at you guys. 6 and 5. Hang in, we got 4. Last 3 and 2. Little 1 here, pulse it out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Awesome. All right, bringing it back. Okay, I want to do just one more set on our back. So we're going to lay back over. Rolling onto the back here. Good. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and shoulder bridge up. Another image to think is that you've got a curtain rod across your hips here. And we're going to bring one knee into tabletop, so we want to make sure we don't do this as we do that. Okay, can you see how my curtains would fall off onto the floor? So we're bringing it back, keep our curtain rods nice and level across your hip bones. And now I'm going to bring my right knee up, and I'm going to do little pulses. So keep that low back nice and secure, that you're not pulsing out of your back, but instead you're pulsing out of that glute. 8, 7, ribs are knitted. 6, it's okay to use your elbows a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower that down, and you can come all the way back down and reset. Okay, we'll go to the other side, so come all the way up. And we bring that left knee into tabletop. Keep your curtain rods, and we pulse it out. 8, 7, feel that right glute squeeze. 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the leg, lower the hips, bring it down. Gonna rock it out. I've got one more challenge for you. Take your feet just a little bit wider, so they're wider than your hips. We're gonna come up to the shoulder bridge. I'll use my left side first. So I'm gonna take this knee up, but then I'm gonna take my ankle under my thigh, the other side, and let that knee open up to the side, and then bring it up. So it's down and out, and right here, I really want to dump into that hip, but I'm really going to turn on this right glute to keep myself from doing that. So we're going into this external rotation. And 3. You can always take breaks in between if you need to lower those hips. 2. And 1. Awesome. Lower it down. Let's reset. And then firing up again. My right knee comes up. Ankle slides under. Open that knee up. And bring it up. Slide it under and out. And 3. And 2. And last one. Woo! And lower it down. Let's give those knees a hug. And then it's always great to stretch those glutes out at the end for a little bit. So let's do a crossover stretch. We're going to take one foot to the floor, doesn't matter which. And from here, you want to have a diagonal line reaching from your hip to your knee without swiveling the pelvis. So I always think about my tailbone going right down the center of my mat rather than pointing over to the opposite direction. So meaning if my left knee is bent, you want to make sure your tailbone's not swiveling over to the right. Good. And some people like to take this up a little bit by pulling this knee into their chest. I like to rock that out a little bit, and it stretches my low back muscles and then deeper into the outside of the glutes here. I just tell everybody I like to kind of meet pain by avoiding that head on. Just kind of skirt around it. So, meeting pain at head on. Okay, lower that foot down. We're going to crisscross the opposite direction. So pause here, work on just getting your tailbone right to the center. That right knee goes out, your left hip stays down. Shh. And then we can pull the knees into your chest and rock it out a little bit side to side. Yeah. Feels good on the back as well. All right. That's all I have for you for right now. I hope it recorded. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.